So welcome everyone to Demo Tuesday. Today we are going to explore how Power BI Desktop uh, TMDL view can simplify complex models and unlock more efficient ways of working with semantic models. My name is Martin Wambui, and before we dive in, let's get just a moment to introduce who we are and why this matters. So Amli began in 2017 as a small data management operation and has since grown into a trusted partner serving nearly 100 clients. We focus on tailored solutions and strategic collaborations, delivering innovation through data, AI, and digital transformation. Our main focus is that we empower business with the end-to-end data solutions from strategy cloud platforms and advanced analytics to AI integration and data and transformation. Our strength lies in helping clients make smarter decisions, streamline process, and achieve measurable results. And now we are back to what is TMDL. So in short, TMDL is a Tabular Model Definition Language, which simply it's a text-based definition of your model, and now we have that part as a preview in our Power BI desktop, which was not there sometimes back. So think TMDL as a blueprint of your semantic model in a text. Instead of only relying on the graphical interface, you can now script your model directly inside the desktop. And I think this can be very interesting even to developers, and since it's like codes. So before this preview, there was there's something we call tabular editor. And before the TMDL preview in Power BI, you would download a tabular editor where you would edit your semantic model using the TMDL language. But now we have the TMDL in Power BI. So you can take this scenario. You want to prepare your favorite meal. You have a new recipe and it's on a weekend. And the only way to prepare the meal, you have to drive to the nearest restaurant and then maybe lease or ask for permission to use their kitchen so to prepare your meal. But now like it's like you want a recipe but you don't have the control of the kitchen. But now with the TMDL, we can be able to have the control of our model inside our Power BI desktop. So we are going to go to the demo, and these are the simple things and we are going to cover in our demo. Number one is you can be able to change your data types using the TMDL script, find and replace for faster naming, switch your model between import and direct query, edit and call direct in TMDL, and create bulk measures in just one step, and share and reuse measures across multiple models, and also build calculation groups and which help us in time intelligence. So with that, we are going to our demo, and our demos will be short and interesting, so enjoy. So this is a sample of a semantic model, and it's a star schema, and we have some company products here, and we have the sales, and we have also the product and also the inventory. So this is just a sample of an enterprise that uses Power BI to run their data analysis. So first of all, number one thing, if you can, we have this section here. If you there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there are 5. So we have report view, we have table view, and we have model view. This is, you can see it on my top left. And then we have DAX query view. And also this now is the one that we have TMDL view. Now this is one that we are going to explore. But to some extent, you may not find it here. So what you do, you come here to options and settings, and then click options. So when you click options, you come to preview features. Now you can be able to see like TMDL view. So that's in case you cannot be able to see it. So if you mark here and click OK, you will see your TMDL view in your Power BI desktop. So now because we have it in our case, we won't do that process. So if I click my TMDL view here, shall start afresh. So this is the view. So from this now you can be able to drag your anything from your data set here, and now you will see the model. We can do example here. We drag the fact cells here. So if you drag this now, you can see this. We have this script here. Now you can be able to change anything that you want to change, and if you want to see the entire, so every time you drag something here, you create a new script. So for example, this is was one table. You can be able to drag all of the full semantic model when you click model view here on your top right. So this one now contains the whole semantic model. So now you can be able to, you can edit this one, the whole model, and even you can share with someone, maybe if you want to collaborate. So these are some few you can find, replace, and also there is command palette here that tell you some of the shortcut keys in order to be able to do what you want to do quickly. So now going back to what you are supposed to do, the first thing you said, like, you can be able to change your data type. So if you go back and to the tables and bring our fact cells. So if I scroll down here, we shall look at this column. This is column amount, and you're told that the data type is integer, and then the format string, the just a 0. If you want to see how it happens it looks in a table, you can come here. The table view, you can see this amount. This is now the amount that you are talking about. So I want us to change this to double. And then you also want to change the format string to include some $sign. So if I click apply, and then I come here to my table view, you can see now the has changed. The format has changed. You now have the $value here. So that was just a simple step. So the advantage with this model is that if you want maybe to change, like, let's say you want to change like you have like different columns, like even 100 columns, and you want to change their maybe format string at once. For instance, we said we are going to check about the find and replace. Let's say first of all, find any format string with 0 here, and then we try to replace. So you find this and then replace with this one, and then we replace all. So you'll come and see that every column that you had in that table now has been formatted to your format. So, and if you were to do this with in a normal way, you could come to maybe you click this table, and then now you change one by one. You change the data type you want to change now from date. If you want to change this to a whole number or a decimal, you come here and change to a decimal. But now with the TMDL view, you can change like even 100 tables format string at once. So it kind of gives you efficiency, and it's easy to operate. Oh, we shall click apply to make sure that the changes have been reflected. So now we have dealt with the two things. We've been able to do what we call, you can be able to change your data type, and also you can be able to replace or change a lot of renaming. For example, if there's something that is renamed in a way that you don't want, you can rename everything at once, and then you are done. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to see like you can check the import mode. So I'll come here and drag products. So if I drag products, you can see here we in this partition, which is the DM product, and there is the import mode. So there before, if I try to change this from imports to direct query, you cannot be able to do it. If you come here, we used to come here to the model, and then at our tables, we have this DM product, come to advanced. So if you check here at my bottom right, storage mode, it's even blurred. That means you cannot change. And but with TMDL view, you can be able to change. So we shall change this one to direct query, and then apply our changes. And then we shall come and see where. So you see, like after now we have applied, you can be able now come to change. It's something that you could not do before, but now with TMDL, you can be able to change the mode that you want. So since the table is from our local file, so it remains to be important, but just that was helping us to see how you can be able to change between different storage modes. So the next thing that we are going to look at is you can change your M code. So if you check the script, at the bottom we have the M coordinate. This is the Power Query that contains even the source, the source that you have and some data types. This is the Power Query, the M language. So you can be able to edit even the M language in your TMDL, and with that you don't need to go back to Power Queries. You start editing, changing data type. If you're efficient with writing the M code, you can do a lot of even joining tables in just here, and then you click apply, and then you are done. So for instance, in my where my tables are stored, there's a table called stalls rather than DM stalls. So if I come and then edit here, I edit here and then use stalls instead of DM stalls, and then I click apply. So the data source has been changed. So now it's reading from stalls and not DM stalls. So that's how you can change the part of the M language and even the data source from the TMDL view. And also you just do that without going back to the Power Query editor. So now we have seen how now we can edit the M language. So the other thing that is very interesting is now you can build bulk measures. And I remember one time we were building report with Martin Muchuki, and was about social media metrics. There was we were creating. I think we created more than 50 measures, and to create a measure, you could just maybe come to the model view or even at the report view. If you click a table, you can see your new measure at your data source. You can click new measure. If you come here, you can also create your new measure from here, and you can be able to you can get to create a new measure in different ways. So this is how we create a new measure. You paste your measure here, and then you click commit. So if you want to create, like, for example, 10 measures or even 20. Now this is the process. You create measure, you come, say new measure, you create again, new measure, you create again, and it's so repetitive. But now with TMDL, there's a way now you can create, if you have your measures, maybe you're using an AI to help you create the measures, and now you have all your measures already created, already defined. You can just create them at once and then you are done. So shall come and test that. So I'll come here and I'll paste a code that creates a new table called measure table, and then that will I'll show you how we have several measures in that code. So this is my code here. So in this case, I create a table called measure table. And then this table has several measures. You can be able to see, like, we have total sales, total quantity, order count, average order value, like sales year to date. All these measures have recreated them, and they are all here in one script. And if I just click apply, all the measures are created. And you remember the way I have shown you, if you want to create before this, you could create a single measure at a time. There was no way you could create like back measures at a time. So let's click apply and see whether our measure will work. So let's come to our report view and try to see whether our measures are working. And so if you come to measure table now, you can be able to see these measures. Let's drag like total sales. So you can see now we have like total sales, and if you want to view others, they are working, and now we have all those measures. So just imagine now the time that you would have saved if you are creating now each measure at a time. Each measure at a time when it could be a lot of work. So now with that, now you can number one, you can share your measures with someone, and they can also do the same. Maybe if for example the data of your organization, we are dealing with the same data set, so that means like you can share your measures with your fellow developer, and then they can use the same measures to do what in their models. So I'll just show you how we can transfer measures from one semantic model to the other. So open a new Power BI desktop. Then quickly, I want to get no, not really, sorry. I want to get some data sets. And just give it a moment. So I want to get cells. Then load. So in this case, I'll share the measure that has been used in another semantic model that we were before. And then I use in this so this is a different report. So this is a different semantic model. So I want to come here and add a very small script that it's the one that I had pasted before, but now because I'm just dealing with sales, this contain only the measures that are related to the sales table, and I was using them before. So if maybe this was another developer was developing this, and I shared this code with them, they'll just come and apply here, just paste and apply, and then you get your measures. So if you come here now, you can be able to, you can see that we have this measure here. So it's like have been shared to another developer and now they can be able to collaborate. So with that, let's see. So something else, you can see like, for instance, here we have order count and have the dollar sign. So you can, it's like all the measures were formatted like the same. So for example, this order count here. So if you just want to remove the dollar sign, you just remove here, then you apply. And then if you come to, you're done. And this makes work easier than like just coming to like before, if you wanted to edit a measure, you could come and click this measure and then you get this view. You now would change the whole number, and then you would change the source of your measure table and such. But now with this, you just a small click, and then you are done with the editing the format string. And even if you want to align all the measure to use the same format string with find and replace, you can do it in a quick way. So now let's close this and go back to where we don't even need this one. So we can go back to our model. So I hope we've been able to see how we can be able to share the measures and also the script, and also in the way we can create the bulk measures at once. And with that, we can make work easier for us as the developers who are doing the model semantic model development in Power BI. So and then the last thing that I'm gonna show is the calculation groups. Calculation groups is where we combine like the measures that are related, and I'll show you how, like before this, the way we create the calculation group. You come to the model view, and then here you can see the calculation group. So, and before you create the calculation group, you have to make sure that discourage implicit measures is marked to yes. And then now, if you want now to click, you just click a new calculation group, and then you start now typing. You type. But with TMDL view now, you don't do that a lot of work. So you just create the group of the measures that you want, And then you come to now to this script, and then you just paste here, and you are done. So I have this script. You can see I have a table called, I want to create a table called time intelligence and contain 4 calculation groups. The first calculation item is year to date, and then we have calculation item quarter to date, and then month to date, and also current. So this item now will be used as a group S1, and I'll show you how the calculation group works. So I click apply and see whether one more they're saying like one more calculation group try to be. Just click refresh here and then see whether that will go away. So we are done with that. Let's go back to our report view. And then if you come here to calculation group, you have calculation. This I think I created by when I clicked the create calculation group, but this is the one that you've created. This is called time intelligence. So I'll just do a matrix table, and then I'll show you how calculation group works. So I have, let's say, come to and I pick the store name, and for my measure table, I want to pick sales as the values, and then I come to calculation group that we created and drop as columns. So if I expand here, you can now see I just dropped this one, shows the and all the item in the calculation group are displayed according to the sales. So you can change this. For instance, you can remove that one and also click like let's say order count. So if you change the values, because this is it has been grouped, everything changes, and then you can be able to see the according to year to date, quarter to date, month to date, and current. So that's how calculation group works. So we go back, and once we are done, we just update. And now let us view our whole semantic model. So now we can, if some maybe we are using the same data set in our organization, I can share this whole semantic model that contain everything, the measures, all the table, and all the changes that you've made, and then someone can replicate this in their model, and they will be good to go without doing a lot of work. So number one thing to note is that as we conclude this, TMDL is still in preview, so we are expecting like so many changes that will come as the Microsoft update their Power BI now and then. So these are just some few things that we can do, and we can do with TMDL, and I believe there are more that will come, including this one using the TMDL. We can also do the version control, and this happens when you're dealing with PBIP. So in a PBIP, there is in the PBIP files, there is a file for TMDL where you can be able to do git control and version, so that you can be able to cooperate with your developers and creating the Power BI models. So, and that's the end of our demo. So, and the next thing is anyone with questions concerning what we just presented.
First of all, thank you so much, Martin, for putting that together. It's, for me, having done Power BI for years, I think this is a game changer, and we continue to see it develop. And what I'm thinking is, like, for instance, what you just showed there for bulk editing. I think that's huge, where we can be able to create multiple measures without having to create one by one. So that by itself just reduces the development time or time to go to market. The other thing that I really love about the TMDL is the fact that now we can be able to tie it to source control, because that's one of the things that we've lacked in Power BI for years, where you can be able to tie it to GitHub, to your whichever source control that you do have, DevOps or whatever. So it's really amazing. So I just wanted to commend you on that because it just brings a lot to the table. So thank you for putting this together.
Thank you.
Mine is also a comment that thank you, Martin, for the great presentation. I think the preview to TMDL was very interesting, as you just said at the beginning. And personally, I'm looking forward to what the Microsoft team is going to put into improving the TMDL and how it's going to make the developer experience way, way better. So that was a great presentation. Thank you.
Mine is not more technical, but it's just the presentation. The way you start with what do you call that? The a little bit story before you go into the details. I think that does help for somebody who's trying to understand what we're doing. It kind of does give a picture, a visual. What are we trying to get to, or what is the objective of the demo? So that's good. So not really to add more on the technical, but more on the presentation. That's really good.
Thank you, Adam. I think if there's no other questions, and I told you it will be short and interesting. So